What is going on, my Bucket family? Matthias Noah's son here, hashtag Bucket family, back at you with part 2 of What If Deku Had Gilgamesh's Power. If I remember, last time we left off, which was not long ago, part 1's literally about, I believe, an hour ago. So, we left off at All Might offering Gilgamesh Deku if they wanted to train under him. So, if I remember correctly, I said something along the lines of Gilgamesh would accept this because it would also give Deku the chance to become stronger and train under the number one hero. And also, I should mention this now. This would-have has already been done by a good friend of mine, Super Saiyan Blue Charlotte. So I recommend you all go check out his channel. If I remember, I have his channel link in one of my previous videos. I forget which one. But I know for a fact it's going to be What If Deku Had Broly's Berserker form. So if you haven't checked out that What If, please check it out. Part 2 will be on SSB Charlotte's channel. And he's the one that had gave me permission to actually do this What If. As long as I, try to work my way around all the ideas he had before. So come with some slack here if you guys had heard some before. And please call me out on anything that Super Saiyan Blue Charlotte had said before, or if he is still continuing it, has previously done, so I can change it later on or try to redo the part 2 entirely. So please help me out here. I mean, we're all family right now, so also I think I will have Gilgamesh stay in control for a while, and whenever it's for things like times of peace, will he allow Deku in control? But since Gilgamesh is more of the fighter and the hero person, and Deku will literally lose his will to fight, considering he doesn't have a quirk, and he doesn't know how to control Gilgamesh's power. So yeah, I know I said things like Gilgamesh is going to teach Deku how to use his power, but in hindsight, Deku could only use Gilgamesh's skills because the Gate of Babylon only belongs to Gilgamesh himself because he is the only one that the key will only work for. So, yeah. Gilgamesh is going to stay in control during the duration of a lot of the fight scenes, really. So, yeah. Yeah, so pretty much nobody's gonna know what's going on with Deku. All they know is that he has this chill, playful mode, and then this serious mode that will literally wreck their faces if they piss him off. So yeah. Anyway, Gilgamesh Deku would accept All Might's offer, and since at this point he knows nobody's gonna be coming to attack Deku, he will give Deku half control over his body, enough so he can move around and do things, but enough for Gilgamesh to actually take action and protect him if anything happens. So, yeah. His eyes are going to have that reddish-green tint, is what I mean. Yeah. And his hair is going to stay green, it's going to stay mossy, so it's just his eyes that are going to change a little bit, so. Yeah. Though All Might would look at his eyes and notice that Deku's eyes have become slightly more green, and he'd be like, "Young man, what is this the effect of your quirk? Does your eyes change color?" Since it'll be Deku in control at this point, Deku would be like, I don't know," and would say something along the lines of that it's more or less Gilgamesh's power, not his. And I'm gonna be like, who the f*** is Gilgamesh? Deku would say Gilgamesh is the original king of heroes, or he was the the great kingdom of Babylon. He is the king of that kingdom, and he is the first hero to have ever existed and throughout history. So, and that all weapons known to mankind were all in his treasure armory. So, yeah. All Might would be like, wait, the original hero, the king of heroes? You mean the one guy that could destroy the world if he wanted to? Deku would have said, yeah, I think that's the one. All Might would be like shocked because Deku's quirk is pretty much ancient at this point. Just like One for All. One for All is ancient and unknown quirk, and um, well, there's a few quirks that are ancient and unknown, but the Deku's quirk is pretty much like ancient, like the beginning of the world type ancient. So yeah, All Might would chuck that down. Would say that he's gonna keep that a secret because there might be some villains that'll try to figure out how to harness that power for themselves, but none of them can't. But All Might still would take Deku in his ring and train him because All Might also realized that the power that was showcased with when Gilgamesh was in control, that Deku couldn't really do because well, he had no control. He couldn't use that power at all. He only had like the positive permanent buffs and charisma and like leadership and divinity and all that. So I mean, like Deku, because of divinity, Deku already has some level of superhuman strength, but that pretty much just came to him all of a sudden, so he didn't know how to actually use it or fight. And All Might realize that Gilgamesh's power had too much of a positive outburst towards Deku, but he didn't know how to fight or use it at all. And at the same time, even though the divinity buffed up his strength, he was still pretty weak because divinity only multiplies the person's strength by, I believe, 10. So say Deku's strength is a 20, and 20 is not enough to lift a car, but it's enough to like push it a bit by him, push it out of like a dish by himself. With the times 20 multiplier, it'll give him the strength of 200, so he'll be able to pick up a car, but he won't be able to chuck it too far. While All Might's strength is like that of 1,000,000, Deku has the strength of a 200. So yeah, Deku is still pretty much an ant compared to All Might, and it's still pretty much an ant compared to a lot of heroes, really. So yeah. Anyway, but he's still decently strong to fight a grown man, but he can't like beat him up. It'll probably be like a even Steven fight. So yeah. Anyways, so the next day would pass, and Deku would put on some training clothes and tell his mom that he's going to the beach to work out or something. Deku's mom would say bye and stay safe, noticing that his eyes had like a greenish red tint, and she'd be like, Deku, what's wrong with your eyes? Deku would be like, wait, what? She would hand, Inka would hand her son like a mirror to look into, and Deku would notice that his eyes were like reddish green, and he would try to choke it up with his quirk, so her mom would worry about like another entity being possessed within his body, and try to like call an exorcist to exorcise whatever was inside her son. So yeah. Anyway, you can't exercise what is divine. So yeah. Anyway, Deku would start jogging to the beach, noticing he was pretty fast, and even though he was jogging, he was passing a few cars. He's like, "What's going on? I don't remember ever being this fast." And well, he actually also had a lot of stamina, and all of this was thanks to the divinity buff of Gilgamesh's soul. So, yeah, just imagine what would happen if Gilgamesh hadn't. Well, you know what? We all already know what would happen to Deku if Gilgamesh hadn't joined. Deku would just be, well, a quirkless nobody who would probably accept All Might's power so he could become a hero. So, you know. Anyway. Deku would be shocked at his own speed for the time being, and then would get over it. he would be curious to figure out what would happen if he actually ran, but he's not going to because he wants to conserve strength for the actual training that's going to be going on here. They also figured out that the only reason, because he's actually much smarter. Because remember, he has Gilgamesh's soul in him, and all of the buffs that he has also affects him mentally. So he would also figure out that it's due to Gilgamesh being in partial control that he also that still has all these buffs and stuff. So when he gets to the beach, he would ask Gilgamesh to let him have complete control for his training going on, so it won't be too easy, and he actually like gains a bit of a workout doing it. Gilgamesh would be like, "All right, I'm still here if you need it, so all right, I'm gone." And his eyes will become completely green again, completely emerald green. And when he tries to run, he notices that he was much slower than he was before. And it was at this point Deku realized that Gilgamesh's power pretty much amplifies his physical body by so much that if he had done all my training with Gilgamesh there, it wouldn't be much of a workout. It'd just be him cleaning up, like, you know, normally cleaning up your room. That would pretty much be him just cleaning up the beach with no like gain whatsoever. So yeah, the time came when All Might appeared, and he said that Deku's task was to clean up the beach and to make sure it was all clean before the end of summer break and the start of the practical exam. So yeah, hiccups. Anyway, Deku started cleaning up and realizing it was severely hard to do so. There were a few times where he almost gave it an axe to Gilgamesh for help, but he kept on to that determination and kept going and going. And that determination and drive helped him finish the beach a lot earlier than he did in anime. So I believe it took him about 6 months to finish it in an anime prior. So he had like 2 months to actually do any training. So yeah, this time we're gonna have it to where Deku was so determined to finish this so he could actually start doing training that he finished it 2 months prior to his original time. So he finished it in about 4 months, giving him about 4 extra months of training. Yeah, giving them 4 extra months of training. Yeah, that sounds good. So, what am I thinking of again? I forgot what I was thinking of again. That's it. Yeah. All Might had asked Deku to allow Gilgamesh to give him a tiny power, to use his core to give him a tiny power boost. And Deku asked Gilgamesh for a partial bit of his power. Then, Gilgamesh was like in his subconscious watching what was going on. He granted Deku a small bit of his power, so Deku's eyes became that greenish red again, and well, Deku instantly felt different. Like, he instantly felt that he was so much more stronger than before. So at this point, I would say Deku's strength entirely would be equivalent to about 45 or 50% of one for all, due to Gilgamesh being like the hero king, and being so strong. Yeah. His speed is equivalent to like 60% of one for all, because Gilgamesh wasn't never actually a fighter. He wasn't never really that much of a close range fighter. He was more of the archer dude that shoots weapons and fights up close when he wants to play around with his opponents. But considering Charlotte had gave Deku the archer thing, I think I'm gonna have Deku be more of a swordsman. Well, no, not a swordsman, but more of a whip master because, well, I'm pretty sure I said in the first video that Deku's main weapon that Gilgamesh is going to give Deku will be the chains, the heavily chains, the chains that could bind and capture gods is what I mean. That chain, and he's not going to give him Era or Ida. Yeah, it's Aya. That's it. He's not going to give Deku Aya because Aya is a bit too powerful for Deku. That and Gilgamesh himself knows that if Deku were to lose Aya, then the entire world's pretty much screwed. Because if anyone other than well, nobody really knows how to activate it, but it'll be more of like a pillar, really. Those that, because the only person that I think would know how to use it would be All For One and All Might. Those would be the only ones I think will know how to actually use Aya because of, well, reasons. One, their quirks are the pinnacle of powerhouses. Like Aya's the pinnacle of all. I forgot what they were called. You know, the powerful weapons in Frank Strain Knight. Crap, how did I forget the name of it? They're called, it's something. I can't believe I forgot already. God damn it. Anyways, y'all know what I mean. God damn it. How did I forget? God damn it. The Royal Arms. Let's just call it Royal Arms, because I forgot what they are actually called. God damn it, me. Anyway. And I say that because of, well, reasons I stated before. And, well, they will probably have knowledge opposed to how to use Aya. Because knowledge like that could only be obtained by high-ranked people. Or, like, very, very important villains. So, yeah. Anyways, back to the story. Deku and All Might would start sparring for a little bit. And All Might realized that Deku's actually pretty damn fast, and his strength is equivalent to his to 50% of his own. And remember, All Might is fairly weakened. He's not at his pinnacle like he was before the injury. So yeah, 50% of Deku now would have been probably like 20% of All Might's prime. Yeah, that sounds about right, really. And so right now he's only dancing with 50% All Might and 50% weakened All Might and 50% pinnacle Deku right now. So that's pretty much what's going on. Yeah, that's about it. That sounds right. Alright, so going back at it, Deku and All Might are here sparring. Deku sees that, no, All Might sees that Deku's speed and strength are great. They're huge, and I might be like, why did I even think of giving this kid my quirk? It's apparent that he's already caught up to me in such a short amount of time. But I may be holding back, but I might have to actually start going all out if I keep playing around. And as soon as All Might let his guard down, Deku got a good hit on All Might's face and actually sent him flying. Now Deku had now since All Might flew into a tree, and because of that, All Might was a bit hurt. All Might couldn't believe that a punch like that actually hurt him, and noticed that Deku's potential was a bit too great for even himself. He realized that Deku might be someone quite dangerous if he becomes a villain. So yeah, All Might would start trying to keep Deku humble, really. And Deku's like, I know. it's Gilgamesh you should technically be worried about, but he's the king of heroes, so I doubt he's gonna do anything wrong anytime soon. That would relieve All Might a lot, and Gilgamesh would really just turn his head because he knows it's the truth. So, yeah. No, because yeah, he may be overpowered, but he also loses a lot because of his cocky attitude. So, yeah. Okay, so yeah, the power's alright. The power's alright. Anyway, sorry, I was thinking about something else real quick. I was thinking that I might have made Deku a bit overpowered, but I just realized that I didn't. So alright, I'm good. Anyways, back at it. All Might would and since they would have more time about closing in on the end date of the summer, All Might would take Deku over to Nighta's agency, and so Deku and Mirio could spar. I mean, like beforehand, well, before they actually got there, All Might would ask Deku, or well, in this case, Gilgamesh, considering Gilgamesh would be the one in control at this point, because he has more experience in fighting than Deku does for the time being. And going up against someone like Mirio who has fighting experience, Gilgamesh will want Deku to study the fight so he can understand how to fight somebody that's not the same person later on. So yeah, Gilgamesh is pretty much helping Deku right now. Anyways, what was I saying again? Yeah, All Might would ask Deku to so he could to speak with Gilgamesh, and even though Gilgamesh is already out, then Gilgamesh Deku would tell All Might that he's already out and he's right there walking with him. All Might would look down the door as his eyes were ready and be like, oh, okay. Well, since you technically turned down my quirk, and since you are half of Yamadoria's body in total, I wanted to ask you if who do you think would be a good candidate for my quirk? Gilgamesh should be like, why would you ask me that? It's your power. If you choose to give it to someone, why don't you choose someone you think is worthy of it? And Gilgamesh will also say something along the lines of, don't just pick any person with a powerful quirk, because it'd be better for the world to have two great heroes instead of just one. Because Gilgamesh uses himself as an example. Look at me. Gilgamesh be like, look at me. I was the strongest hero in my era, and now I'm dead, and there was no and I didn't have anybody to help me be better than I was before. Because if there's one strong powerhouse and there's no other to challenge them to keep them from becoming corrupt, because that's pretty much why Gilgamesh was so confident and cocky and didn't have to and thinks he doesn't have to actually go all out against people, was because of that fact. And Gilgamesh would also tell All Might that, and All Might would see this as a lesson, because it's literally an ancient being, somebody older than even himself. His own quirk was giving him a lesson on something that he should have learned of before. Because while he may be strong, if he doesn't have anybody to keep him to be strong or humble, then he might as well be no better than a villain, because he become cocky and overconfident and start trying to rule the world himself with an iron fist, because that's what Gilgamesh did technically. Though he was the king of heroes, he did die. Well, he was assassinated, really, but Anyways. Yeah, Gilgamesh didn't really have anybody of his power to fight him toe to toe or keep up with him, because he was so strong and he was so overwhelmingly powerful. if there was someone like that in his time, well, even though he's already remembered throughout history, I'm pretty sure he would have been remembered for all of eternity. Because, you know, people started forgetting about him over a period of time, but I think concepts like heroes and powers and stuff like that, all of that originated from him. So they couldn't really forget that because of, well, that fact. So, yeah. All Might would take that knowledge, take the knowledge that Gilgamesh Deku had gave him, and would keep it into consideration while thinking of a new candidate for One For All, because his candidate was originally Mirio, but with Mirio's permanation quirk, it's already a bit powerful, and he's already strong. On top of that, he already has a good combat experience. That, and once he graduates, he's technically a pro hero off the rip. So, yeah, almost like I do have to think of someone else. I can't just give this quirk to a strong person. This is when All Might would ask Gilgamesh Deku to recommend someone. Gilgamesh Deku doesn't really know anybody, so he would probably say something along the lines of someone that doesn't have too strong a quirk. Maybe someone with like a mind control quirk or an erasive quirk, or a quirk that like reverses gravity that doesn't really do anything. And then the thought came to his mind, wait a minute. Because Gilgamesh Deku, he has, remember his ability to not permanent, but have the, what's it, I can't believe I forgot it again, crap, clairvoyance. Yeah, because the only reason he said gravity was because he saw someone named, he saw Uraka with a gravity quirk trapped under some rubble and needs help. But that's like in a different timeline because, well, like I said, you can't necessarily see into the future, but you can see alternate realities of events that happened. So, because in the reality he saw, she was trapped under some rubble and actually died. And, well, even though he saw that, it doesn't mean it was too late. Because, well, Gilgamesh Deku had already said that he has someone in mind, but he doesn't really remember their name. Try to play it off as he actually knows them, he just doesn't remember them. But he knows for a fact that they're a girl, so. And All Might would be like, a girl? Because, well, All Might's greatest teacher was a woman before she died. So, yeah. I forgot, but I remember that All Might's teacher's last name was Tomura. It was something Tomura. Because, you know, Shigaraki is her son. Shigaraki Tomura is her son, so yeah. Woo! Logic. Anyway. All Might would say something like, right, just whenever you remember their name, tell me so I can evaluate their skills and see if they can actually use One For All. Not see if they can actually use it, but see if they're worthy of it. And Gilgamesh Deku is gonna say, don't worry, I already know that they're more than worthy enough for it. They have a worthy cause. I mean, like, Chakuraka does have a cause for wanting to become a hero, to help her family out and all that, so, I mean, like, if that's not worthy, I don't know what is. Anyways, back at it again, my family. Gilgamesh Deku and All Might arrive at Nightaye's agency after their conversation. Gilgamesh Deku would ask All Might if this is the place, because the power level he sees of Nighteye is like a bit lower than his own, and sees that this Mirio fellow is already technically well above Nighteye, because, well, he's been there for about 3 years and is already stronger. and is about to become a pro hero after he graduates. So yeah. Well, he's not necessarily stronger than Nighteye's, but his potential is much greater than Nighteye's. So yeah. I mean, like, you know what? Whatever. Let's just get on with the story. 30 minutes in. All right. This is gonna be another long video. Perfect. Anyways, All Might and Gilgamesh Deku walks up to Nighteye, Mirio, and, well, let's just say the big three, because I don't remember all their names. I only remember Mirio, okay? Anyways. All Might would declare to Nighteye that Deku and Mirio have a sparring match. Nighteye will look at Deku, seeing that he's pretty much a scrawny kid with green hair and red eyes. Though the red eyes pretty much throw him off a bit because he sees something a bit ancient in those eyes of his. Something like he sees a man that has seen war and seen death before within the eyes of Gilgamesh Deku. And he would also have a feeling that this guy will destroy Mirio in no time flat. Nighteye would reluctantly agree to the sparring match between Gilgamesh Deku and Mirio. And Mirio would be like, "Yo, Teach, why are you so hesitant? I got this." Being cocky and overconfident. But as soon as the battle begins, Mirio was already on the ground with a sword to his face. And it's like it's not even like a minute in. It's just like, it was like close to instantaneous. So yeah. Gilgamesh had told Mirio not to overestimate his opponents, because he himself had done that before and he had died. And Mirio would be like, "You died, but you're right here." Gilgamesh would be like, "Never mind," and would pull the sword away from Mirio's face and will get off him. Only reason Mirio couldn't then permanent was because he had the chains on him. Because I forgot to mention that as soon as the battle starts, Gilgamesh Deku used the chains to hold Mirio down and hold the sword up to him, pretty much ending the bout right then and there, quickly, proving that Gilgamesh Deku could have killed Mirio at any point in time. So Mirio, noticing this, was like, "Alright, I can't play around anymore, because this guy, if I mess up even once, will kill me." And that's what Gilgamesh wanted him to think. So, because after that, he just holds out a sword, really, and just with one hand points it at Mirio and says, "Let's continue our sparring match." Now, All Might and Nighteye would have been shocked, because All Might, he didn't even know that the chains. He didn't even know when Gilgamesh Deku actually summoned the chains, and Nighteye was like, "Why didn't Mirio permeate through the chains?" And Mirio himself would be thinking, "Why can't I permeate through his chains?" And Deku would be like, "I know this question must be ringing through your minds. Why couldn't Mirio use his quirk to permeate through the chains?" Nighteye and Mirio are like, do you have a mind reading quirk?" Deku would be like, No, it was a lucky guess." And then he would say that his chains are known as the chains of heaven, or Erica, or Erica. Something he named after his friend that got killed by the gods, all that jazz. Anyways, yeah, these chains when they bind someone, they wrap around reality just for nullifying any magic in the not pharmacy, but in the area. It just like disrupts all magic in the area, or quirks. In other words, these chains can cancel out quirks. Nighteye and Mirio will be like, wait, your chains could cancel out quirks? Then you'd be an amazing like capture hero, or absolute great rescue hero. Shit. Like Gilgamesh, Deku, like, there's even titles for types of heroes nowadays. How far has the hero society fallen? And, well, although they be talking about this, All Might would talk to Nighteye about Gilgamesh or about Deku's quirk, because Nighteye would try to figure out why he says how far the hero society has fallen, and All Might would explain to Nighteye that Deku's quirk like houses the soul of the Hero King, the first hero to have ever existed throughout all of existence. And I would be like, wait, what? You mean his soul is that ancient? And well, it's pretty much his soul is much more ancient than yours, All Might, and All Might would agree. It is. It's very much so more ancient than his own quirk, really. But you know, after everything that happened, he's much more reluctant to believe it, because not only has he given All Might some very sage advice, but he's also noticed that Deku's aura was more of like that of a king than anything else. It's like he couldn't help but listen to him. Like he couldn't help but follow him, or something along the lines of that. Because All Might's charisma is pretty. All Might's charisma may be influential, but compared to the charisma of a king, the charisma of a true leader figure, All Might's charisma was pretty much overshadowed. Anyways, their sparring match continued. Gilgamesh Deku was pretty much holding back quite a lot fighting against permeating Mirio. And each time Mirio stopped permeating, Gilgamesh Deku had nicked a good hit on him. And Mirio's like, how did you already find the time to my permeation? Deku would be like, easy. There'd be that one instance where you have to actually be solid in order to land a hit on me, so I just used the time and emotion, the timing that you actually throw a punch and actually hit you. Because, well, he has to permeate, and since Gilgamesh has been through a lot of battles to where he has to fight people that can phase through walls and crap like that, I'm pretty sure he has more than enough experience in fighting people that can permeate. So yeah. Mirio would notice that he has no chance in a million years of ever actually beating this guy. And then Gilgamesh would say, alright, Deku, have control. I'm pretty sure you studied more than enough. And Mirio would be like, what? I'll just be all like, what? And then his eyes would become that reddish green, so he still have some powers to actually fight back. And yeah, and I would be like, wait, did his eyes just change? I'm gonna be like, yes. When his eyes are completely red, that's Gilgamesh, the Hero King, taking over and fighting for the time being. Only reason Gilgamesh was fighting was for Deku to study Mirio's fighting style, so Deku could gain fighting experience instead because he's already well versed in fighting. And I just be like, jeez, wait, you mean, wait, it's actually a completely separate entity? I would be like, yes. Now I could be like, oh crap. Whoa, what do you know? The legit Hero King is within, it lives on in our earthly existence. Interesting. And Mirio would be like, alright, so, and, well, no. Mirio wouldn't really say that, but Mirio would feel that his chances of winning had just drastically increased. He'd be like, wait a minute. What was, he had, like, felt that, the pressure of not winning at all just vanished, and he now had, like, this chance of winning almost, his chance of winning, like, increased about 50%. He's like, wait a minute. What just happened? Because as soon as he sees that Deku's eyes are like greenish red, he's like, did he get weaker or did something happen? Because the aura around him completely changed. It went from this crushing pressure to like this pushing, like this. I don't know how to say it, but it's like Deku's aura became the same as Mirio's aura. So Mirio could like actually fight on even grounds with Deku right now. And remember, Gilgamesh wasn't really going all out to begin with. Even in that first instance, he wasn't going all out. He was just showing that he could have easily defeated Mirio if he didn't take him seriously. So anyway, it was more along the lines of Gilgamesh showing that he could beat Mirio's butt in like seconds, no time at all. Just kick him around the world and put him back in the same place after like a long days of pass. But anyway, now as Deku was now in control of this fight scene, he studied Mirio, and he saw that there would be that split instance where he would stop permeating, and that would be the chance of him attacking. But considering Deku doesn't have that much combat experience like friggin' Gilgamesh has, he's gonna have to time his hits or rely on instinct right now, because that's the least he can do. And since he has that independent action, that'll be like the basis of his instincts. Because, you know, friggin' Gilgamesh, since he's fought for so long, his reaction timing and his instincts are like on par with that of like friggin' Ultra Instinct Goku. Shit. Fight forever, you can pretty much activate Ultra Instinct forever. So just can that be a bad example? But I'm saying his muscles remember all of Gilgamesh's actions, and would be able to like reenact on them by itself. So yeah. Each time Mirio permeates and tries to attack Deku from behind, his body would instinctively dodge and like kick Mirio from behind and send him flying backwards. Mirio would say, "What's going on?" Because the pressure that he was feeling before may not be there, but he was still technically losing. And then he would realize that the red tint in his eyes was what was going on, and that he still had a bit of that power. So he would ask Deku to stop using his quirk altogether, and when he does stop, Deku all of a sudden feels the pressure of not winning at all from Mirio, and Mirio would no longer feel any type of opposing aura to his own. And he would also say that so his quirk is like another entity or something, or some type of enhancement. Well, half of it's like an enhancement, but the other half is like in a completely different entity, or something along the lines of it. And I forgot what I called Deku's quirk to begin with, but I believe it was something like the King of Heroes or so. I forget, or was it the Gates of Babylon? I forget. I think he would name his court the King of Heroes, and when Gilgamesh takes over, his court would be called the Gates of Babylon. So his court will have like 2 parts. I guess that'll be good enough. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, so Mirio would be like, it'd be unfair of him to fight Deku while he's like this, so he would say Deku could go ahead and use half of his core, considering it'd be much more fair that way. Then, though his aura becomes the same as Mirio's again, they both began fighting on equal footing because Mirio is also learning from this himself. Because Mirio sees more flaws in his own fighting style than he would have thought to believe at first. And, well, though mistakes happen, Mirio and half Gilgamesh Deku end up having a draw for the first time. And from there forward, it was nothing but constant draws because they pretty much became so adept with each other, they could pretty much read each other's movements now. And it'd be at this point that Nighteye and I would be like, damn. So these are the future heroes. Yeah. Well then, when we pass, we won't have to worry about the future at least. So yeah. But at the same time, Deku himself, although Deku was gaining more experience in fighting, when he it became at a certain point where Gilgamesh himself just turned off his just stopped giving Deku his power, and Deku was holding his own against Mirio quite well without Gilgamesh's power. And Deku wouldn't even notice this because he would think Gilgamesh is still helping him, and Mirio would think the exact same thing, but no, that's not what's going on, because at this point Deku's pretty much an adept martial artist, being able to punch, block, kick, and rinse and repeat quite easily. And as soon as Nighteye sees that Deku's eyes are green, Nighteye realized that Deku's no longer using his cork and he's just holding back. Mirio would hear this, and Deku would hear this, and they would stop midway at a punch to each other's face, and they'd be like, wait, what? Even Nighteye would notice that Deku said, wait, what? And he's like, wait a minute, you didn't realize it? Deku would say, no, I didn't. And Ollie would realize that he's not, that his eye color is flat out green and there's no red tints in anything else. And he'd be like, hold on. So, you've been fighting against someone that's going to be considered a pro hero by yourself this entire time? And they would be like, I guess I was. Why? Because at this point, they would hand Deku a mirror again, and he would notice that his eyes were flat out green. And Deku would be like, holy, I was fighting him without a quirk. Everybody would be shocked at this. Even Deku himself would be shocked, and he would say, why did you say you were your power? Gilgamesh would be like, hey, don't complain, you were winning. Not really, but hey. I mean, like, ever since y'all started having the draws, I pretty much withdrew my power, so. Wait a minute, so. I mean, like, Deku would say, wait a minute, so you mean that the first draw we had was just me on my own? And Gilgamesh would say, yes. Yes, it was. And Nighteye's All Might and Mirio, as well as the other two in the big three, would be like, so this kid pretty much just got a major power boost from, well, training with Mirio, and has nearly become a pro fighter at this age because of it. So yeah, All Might and Deku would thank Nighteye and Mirio for the sparring session and would return. So. And there would be one more month till the practical exams start. And Deku, Deku would take this chance to actually study and, well, meditate a bit. Study and meditate. Study, meditate, sleep. Eat, sleep, meditate, study. Whichever order you prefer. and for that 1 month, and the beach was like, yeah, the beach was clean. All Might's off doing his thing. Deku's doing his thing. Gilgamesh is, well, still learning more and more about the world of quirks and stuff like that. It comes to the point where he also figures out that One for All and All for One were like brothers and crap. Well, he doesn't figure out that they were like brothers at first, but he would see that those two are closely related. It would start making conspiracies about them, and hope that he was correct about one of these when they asked All Might why his and All for One's quirks sound so similar and seems to work in the same similar manner. But anyways, I digress. It's the start of the practical exam, and before the practical exam starts, All Might gets a letter of recommendation from All Might. And Gilgamesh himself sees this as All Might acknowledging that power, because he knows if they take the practical exam, there's going to be no hope in, well, doing anything. Well, and anyone knows doing anything, but at the same time, his premonition might come true if he doesn't take the practical exams. Because, you know, the boulder thing with the girl trapped under some rocks, that might actually come to pass, and he's not there to actually do anything. But now Gilgamesh is just thinking of a way to combat this, and he's like, wait a minute, that's right, I forget, the recommendation exams all happen before the practicals. So like, as soon as Deku finishes the practical, he'll be able to watch the others do their test, and he'll be able to actually save a few lives while he's at it. So he might actually save that one girl's life if he finishes in time. So yeah. Now, I don't remember what all transpired in the what you call it again, recommendation exam. So I think it was a physical thing or quirk type thing. I don't remember, but I'm gonna just try to make it a race or something. Or no. Better yet, I'm gonna make it a sparring thing. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So yeah, it'll be. So I forget who did the test. I don't think anyone in particular. Let's just say Gunhead did the words will not work with me today. I am so sorry, everybody. I am so sorry. What's the word again? Shit. How do I forget this already? I said it like 2 times. The recommendation exam. Shit. Let's just say Gunhead did the How did I forget it already? No, I am not this bad. I got Gunhead did the recommendation exams, and save me, please. Gunhead had pinned Deku against Todoroki and Momo against the Wind Dude. I don't know how Mineta got the fucking, considering I didn't see him in the practical at all, so I'm assuming he was in the recommendation as well. Nor did I see the Invisible Girl, so I'm gonna say she was in the recommendation as well. So, boom, there, deal with it. And it was, I believe, something about the top 4 making it, or it's like something about best puts. Considering all of them were recommended to 1A, they're all going to get into 1A regardless, meaning they're going to kick out a few people that had low scores in the practical. So yeah, or whoever does the worst, the flat out worst in the recommendation, is just going to get the fuck out, and that's not going to get there. It's not going to get in entirely. So yeah. Deku would ask Gilgamesh to take over for Todoroki, because well, Todoroki is the son of Endeavor after all. His quirk is very, very powerful. He's just so very refusant on using it. So, and Gilgamesh would see that he's using half his power, so why should he use all of his power to fight him? And they could be like, "You're not even using all of your power," but you are. And they could be like, "But." Gilgamesh said, "Using me, you're using your full power, so no, you use half your power against somebody that's using half their power." And they would be like, "God damn it, fine." And now Todoroki would notice that his eyes went from absolute red to greenish red, and he'd be like, "Wait, are you using half your power on me?" They'd be like, "Yes, if you're gonna use half your power, I'm gonna use half my power." That there will piss like Todoroki all the way off, and he would send ice shards upon ice shards upon ice shards. And Deku is more than fast enough to actually dodge this, and more than strong enough to actually punch through it. I believe, yeah, and though he punched through one, he grabbed the one he punched through and literally chucked it at Todoroki. Todoroki blocked it with more ice, which then shatters into like snow pieces, and Deku punched Todoroki square in the jaw, knocking him into a wall unconscious. And Deku's like, "Well, I guess half power was more than enough for him." And Gilgamesh was just like, "Hey, if one's going to use half their power, you're not going to use all of your power either, so it's only fair." Because he was being absolute dick to everyone that has powers everywhere. So it was best you teach him that now than later. And then there was like, and so since, be right back. Alright, I'm back. I had to do something real quick, so yeah. Alright, so I believe I said Deku punched Todoroki square in the jaw, knocking him out, and that would leave him versus Momo, and I believe Mineta would have already like creeped Invisible Girl out enough to where she just ran out the ring. Because I'm sorry, I'm trying to make some room for Wind God to get in. No. It'll be, yeah, because Wind God, I'm pretty sure would have Billy whopped Mineta, and it'd be Momo versus Invisible Girl. Momo has more experience in fighting than Invisible Girl. Invisible Girl would be knocked out the ring. Windu would just blow Mineta out the ring, and then it'd be those three. And like a battle royale. So now, since Gilgamesh has more combat experience in battle royales, he would take over here, and he would use his Chains of the Heavens Etika and literally bind both Momo and Wind God to the ground, and he would open two, I'd say a few golden ring, like a golden ring in front of each of them, and have like one sword point directly at their heads and he would say, "Give up, or I will finish you off right here, right now." And both of them would yield and say they give. And Deku and Gunhead would notice that Deku was actually quite strong. Like, he'd be like, "What the hell? Why does this kid exist? He is too strong." And, well, he would also say, "Wait, why didn't the others use their quirks to get out the chains?" And one guy would say, "I couldn't use my quirk. It was like impossible for me to even use it." And Momo would say, "I couldn't create anything either, though she had like enough energy to do so." And both of them would, and well, Deku being Gilgamesh Deku being charismatic would say, "Hey, just because I won doesn't mean y'all lost. It just proves that I have more experience in fighting. So all you have to do is just train. And that's it. If y'all want me to help you, I can help. Because, well, that's the least I can do." I want my peers to be the strongest as they can be, and that's where his leadership role would come into play and would literally enlighten them to, well, not only follow him because he's such a great guy, he's also a great inspirer, just like All Might, and well, that would also give the Wind Dude a reason to not leave UA due to Todoroki being fucking Todoroki. So yeah. And this has been going on for about an hour, so fun, isn't that right? Ha. Alright, so I'm not going to stop the video here. I will stop the video once my battery gets into the red zone again. So yeah. Anyways. I'm back at it. What was I saying again? Oh yeah, after the not entrance. Not practical. Oh my god, I said that about 4 times. How did I forget again? Bada-bee, bada-boo, circus. Okay, no. Anyways, recommendation, that's it. After the recommendation exam, everybody had like a week off. They took a break, they rested till results came in. Deku, oh shit, got 20. Alright, I'm not gonna end it yet. I'm almost done. As soon as Deku got his letter of recommendation, it says that he's in Class 1A with the highest score possible. And it even outshines All Might. All Might's like, I'm quite surprised you outshined me. You outshined the principal. And, well, that right there would blow his mom's mind out the water, because Principal Nezu was the smartest creature on the planet. So, yeah. Anyways, next part will be part 2, and that will be the Quirk assessment test. I will catch my Baka fam later.